Let's play darts. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a classic. It's 26. It's going to take a while, guys. These 26s are going to keep flowing. It's just how life is as a beginner. Not at a year yet of playing every day. And this is where we're at, really. 26 is still. So if you just started and you're frustrated at a 26 every other dart throw, then I feel your pain, really. Welcome to another showing. And if you've noticed, for the eagle-eyed, if you see this top on, this is Samson Does Darts merchandise. Huge merchandise because there's only one. So it's not really merchandise, it's just a top. But if you see me wearing it, it means that I'm going to announce the average, my average for the month. We do this every month. And I always preface this with telling you that averages aren't that important for many reasons. But it's important for me because I need targets, I need aims, and I also need to know if I'm heading in the right direction or not. So last month, I smashed through the 50-point average over all my games. So how I work it out is all my matches, 501 matches from the month, whatever the average is after a month, that's what I go with. Let's go 19s. And I'm going to announce that my average for February is 48. Now, technically it's 48.97. But that means that I've dropped down 2 points. Oh my goodness, my darts must be awful. It's the end of the world. Oh dear. But that's not really the case. Now, it's important to look into these things. It's important to do analysis. Now, not analysis paralysis, but analysis nonetheless. And my analysis tells me that my double, my checkout percentage rate, I think was 17% in January. In February, it's down to about 14.5%. That's why the average has come down. I'm hitting less doubles, guys. So we can use this information. You can either say, well, maybe it's just bad luck. Maybe it's just variance of the statistics. Or maybe, and this is what I'm going to do, is I've got to focus on doubles again. And it's kind of ironic me talking about this because if anybody saw the video, my last video, I went around the clock on doubles in record time. So there's clearly something not quite right with my doubles. So all I'm going to do is do more doubles training and getting back to real focus on that. So I'm going to go around this clock today, but because we did that last time, I'm going to mix up a little bit. We're going to go around the clock, and then every time I hit a double, I'm going to have 3 sets, so 9 darts. I'm going to try and hit this 180. Now I've hit 15, 16, I've got it written down. 180 so far since my illustrious career began almost a year ago. So we're almost getting at the stage where you forget the number you're on, which is good. 19, 18. Oh dear. Oh dear. So yeah, that's what I'm really thinking about. And I guess today I'm just going to really speak about what I'm going to try and do going forward. Apart from throwing darts on the floor, throwing more doubles, spoken about. Technically, because that's more strategy and tactics and how to get better in training. Technically, positives is from the month is my body movement is less. Right, let's start. Let's get going because there's no need not to. Right, double one. My body movement has really gone down. There it is. I'm throwing straighter darts. That's a great example. Look at the grouping there. So more consistent, definitely more consistent. Right, so that means we've got 9 darts. 180 here. So body movement's been great to remove. That's not going to happen, is it? Oh dear, here we go. And then how else can I improve my consistency? Because I'm sure you guys have been there. Last month, the beginning of last month, I hit 7 perfect darts to open a leg in a match against one of you guys. I threw a 180 and I threw a back-to-back 180, never happened. And I even hit the first treble 20. And then I went for treble 15 and missed. You can see that in my shorts if you're interested in that at all. And so if you can throw 7 perfect darts, you've got it in you. You've got it in you to throw that, okay? You guys would have had matches where you've thrown so well, it's just an astronomical number you're not used to. But that's your potential, that's what you can do. That's what you're capable of doing. The key is to do it more and more often and become more and more consistent of having those sort of games. Rather than just trying to get better, you're just trying to get more consistent. And to do that, you've got to remove the variables of this game. So my body movement is key for that. So I've really leaned into that. Now, it's all right leaving your body nice and still, but you're not really throwing the dart with your body. That would be strange. If you had no arms, at all, you wouldn't be able, you'd find it really hard to throw darts. So you've got to take in that the arm and the wrist and the fingers are probably more key. You know, keeping your body still is one element of many. So my follow through is clearly an issue because it's inconsistent and not quite right, as you can see there. Like this one, I follow through nicely, which is why I got some lovely length there, but obviously not straight enough. And that's what I'm talking about, consistency. Right, let's get back to the game of doubles, double 2. Right, so what else do I need to improve on? Well, many things really. Let's go step by step. Even though I've got a pre-shot routine where I don't really raise this arm until I'm in position, I'm not consistent enough with it. Sometimes I realise I'm still moving into this position with my arm halfway up here. I need to be every time in position, then raise the arm. Double 3. Double 4. Hat trick. Look at that. 3 in a row. Got to take that. Get 3 perfect darts where you want them around the board. A round of applause for me there. Thank you guys. Appreciate the little round of applause there. So I need to do that every time. Become a little, because I find myself not doing it all the time. Let's go with that 180. Okay, where else do we go wrong? Right, let's get into position. So where do I aim? How do I aim? Well, if you look at this arm, it's quite far forward, isn't it? A lot of people are back here. But I like it forward here because it feels like I'm taking out. But if I have it a bit closer, I feel my shoulder is a bit active. So I like to put it out. Now, that might not be right. And all the things I'm sort of saying and trying to do might not be the best advice for myself. So this month, I'm going to get another throw analysis done from Daniel at Straight to the Point. And that will give us some real focus on what I need to do technically. So I'm not sure what to do about this aiming arm or this aiming position. I'm not so worried about that. This is common. Dragging and just drifting to the right there. So that has to do with my release. So second of all, I pulled this dart back so quickly and far too far. So it's down here. A lot of the time you see this dart like this. Now that arc needs to be reduced. Poor darts all around here. Look at that, shocking, 11. Right, let's get back to these doubles. I'm preferring them at the moment. Right, we're on number 6. So I need to try and find that pause that Daniel talks about a lot. is that when you bring this dart back, pause, it's like a second pause, throw. It's not really a second pause, but it's certainly some sort of pause that I don't do at all. I mean, look at that. I really struggled with this pause. Really find it unnatural. I just want to get rid of the dart as soon as possible. And that's not good. It's a real issue. So not only do I pull it back too far because I used to be an arm thrower, now I'm using my wrist more. I shouldn't really have to do it, but it's just a natural habit. 7. Ooh. Let's keep going around these doubles because I don't feel we're getting very close to that 180 anytime in the next century. So pause, throw. Little pause, flick through. Little pause, flick through. So look, you can sort of see that they're not terrible darts, but they're certainly inconsistent. They're even entering the board in different directions. That's not a good sign. We're looking for consistency of the throw here. So that's going to need work, and I don't know, I need some sort of tactic how to get better at that. So that's an issue, to say the least. Okay, next of all, am I bringing this dart back? I'm trying to bring this dart back with my wrist and throw it through my wrist. And I feel like I'm doing that much better than I used to. But I think having that throw analysis done from Daniel will tell me probably that I'm not doing it properly or I'm not doing it often enough. Ooh, unlucky. So that's an issue. Then the follow through itself and releasing the dart. So I speak about this quite a lot, but my release needs to be, and this is probably why I'm dragging them, I think I'm turning this wrist a little bit too much still, and I need to be releasing in the same shape of my hand. So let's go for this 180 quickly. This is just silly, really. Wow. And for those who may be a bit newer to this whole trying to get better at the darts thing, when you try and implement changes like this, there's no doubt your performances will just drop, and you kind of need to just like suck it up. If you know for a fact that whatever you're doing is wrong, you need to just persevere. You just need to persevere. Rushing as well, I'm rushing. Right, let's go back to this double 7. All over the place today, but that's no surprise to anybody involved. 8, 9. Another hat trick, guys. What's going on? I can't get anywhere close to that treble 20, but you tell me to hit a double, I've hit 2 sets of perfect darts. So that's progress, that's good. But it's strange, isn't it, when I've been just telling you my checkout percentages have been what's dropped. So I'm not really going to get too upset about it. I'm just going to do more doubles training. I think really, at this stage, I just need to be focused on technique and not worrying so much about stats and results. I mean, I don't think anyone should be doing that really too much. So if you notice with my throw, almost before the dart has landed on the board, I'm already picking up the dart. And what I need to be doing instead is almost really separating them. Rather than all 3 darts are one motion, they need to be 3 separate motions. And what I mean by that is like something like this. This is what happens when I'm trying to do something different. So in between every dart, it's almost its own separate movement. Let's try that again with a little less thought. Bit like that, I think. And it doesn't feel natural. That's why I do it the wrong way. I'm constantly picking up the dart before I've even finish the throw. But that is also part of the follow through, or part of the throw, is to hold that release really. And I guess that's going to help my release more. I think that's in. Let's go 11. Yeah, it did. Snuck in the back door there. Snuck in the back door. Like when you were 17, you've been down the park drinking. It's 1 in the morning. You're sneaking that back door. You know what I'm saying? Double 11. That's better. I guess with that, so for me, what I've just explained there with that release and every dart being different is something I can do, and I think I've been lazy at. A little bit like the pre-shot routine here. A little bit lazy. If I remind myself, I'm sure I could get this to stick. See, not so bad darts either. I don't think it would take long for me to get used to that. So perhaps this is why this is so helpful for me doing these videos. I'm talking through, and a lot of the time you're either with somebody else or you're listening to music or something. You don't really get that time where you're on your own these days in 2025. You're surrounded by so much stimulation and dopamine that having 20 minutes just on your own with your own thoughts, talking nonsense, can actually help you come to little conclusions that your body and mind can't really do with so much distraction. So I need to hold that. Let's stick to that. I'm going to write that down in my mind. Using God's pencil. Nice. Ooh. Not bad darts. So that is what we're going to focus on. So what I need from you guys, if you see me not doing it, got to remind me. We've got to have a little word for it. We're going to have some sort of code word. When you see it, you can just send the comments. You started doing that nonsense again. Whoa. Nice. Okay, so there we go. That's something I can focus on. We'll do that. Next is my elbow. It's a little bit unsure, and I think the throw analysis will be vital for this. I went through a phase of, because my arm and my elbow naturally sticks out, I was throwing and not moving it. Just trying to tuck it in a lot, getting a lot of, both seem to work fairly similar to me. So I kind of just need to know what to do on that. What are we on here, 14? There it is. Oh, guys, it's a shame I didn't really get a move on here because I think we would have got round again. And it's important, these doubles for me. It's important. The tempo of my throwing, I'm happy with. I mean, there must be some parts of my throw which are acceptable. I think that's probably one of them. It's the tempo I throw them at. Although it's probably going to slow down if I stick to this release. But that's okay. I throw much worse when I'm rushing, when I'm throwing too quickly. Come on, 15, let's take that out. Oh, thought that was in. Had a few at this. Right, let's throw 3 more and I'll let you get out of here, guys. I think that's given you a good update for the month, what I'm trying to do going forward. I've got to remind myself, you've got to remind me, somebody's got to remind me, is that release. Let's go 180. Port. Guys, pleasure. Another month down. February's down. March, once we finish March, there's a whole year playing. So it'll be really good to see how I started, where I started from, where I am now. Maybe I'll get a little comparison video. That'd be good to see sort of what I've changed, how to make progress at this. You know, I'm not turning into Luke Littler overnight here, but I'm making steady progress, which I wouldn't have ever thought I could do. The idea of hitting fairly consistent 50 averages a year ago was staggering to me. It would be staggering. So sometimes it's important just to have a little minute to say, you're doing the right things, keep going, don't get frustrated. Thanks everybody.